of things that happened to her in childhood are amplified. One scene, for instance, I don't know if you remember, in Wicked, she's in a bar at Shiz with some of her classmates, and somebody says, "Sing, Elphaba, sing, you have a good voice." And she says, no, I'm not going to do that. And Nessa says, no, she sang for our father all the time. Sing, it's not right not to. So the bar quiets down and she sings. I knew that she could sing long before Stephen Schwartz got a hold of her. That was actually part of that was intentional. If she had had a score and an accompanist in 1939, we would have felt differently about her murder. So it was very important to me in Wicked that she could sing and that she had a good voice. So I wrote that she had sung for her father, who was not the governor of Munchkinland, as the film and play have it, but was a minister and operating among the heathen, as he thought of them. So here's a scene when she's about 14, and he has told her she has to quit her job helping a merchant sell cloth in a backwater town in cloudland country, and she has to come with him to where he's trying to set up a mission in the small city of Port. She has a new dress on because the person selling cloth has actually said, that sack is not working for you. So he makes her new cloth. And so here's just a short page in which she is going with her father to his mission encampment. They set out, taking a series of suspended walkways strung from tree to tree. Think of Louisiana Bayou. Think of Vietnam. It's like that kind of, not the Bayou of Vietnam, that life, but conflate, adumbrate a little bit. You can do it. It's good to stretch your muscles. Ephie is a sight, she supposes, even discounting the ignominy of her skin color. I feel like a walking tree trunk, she complains. This column of broadcloth, it's so stiff and unnatural. How did our mothers stand it? She often went without, said Frex shortly, then clarifies. I mean to say there was little call for formal wear during our time as missionaries. At the edge of the student lodge, it's kind of a festival or a fair that day, a few musicians are amusing themselves with bizarre stringed instruments shaped like crossbows. The good people of Ovals are arriving with flagons and posies and baskets of food for a midday meal. There's an air of harsh merriment. Small circles of dancers begin to revolve. Nothing orchestrated, everything impromptu. Frex scopes out the venue, that's her father, and tells Ephie they will mount the steps on the side veranda of the lodge around the corner. This vantage point doesn't face the main gathering directly, but perches at an angle to it. Beyond the floorboard stretches a grassy verge, broad enough for a crowd to gather. Frex then says to Ephie, "You're going to sing when I tell you to." "You're mad." She smiles at him out of panic. "I can't possibly." "You'll do as you're told. We've reached the end of our resources. We'll have to throw ourselves on the mercy of the public for their charity if we don't begin to make good. The unnamed God expects no less than our utmost. Start with the hymn we used to sing in the canoes. Tender us tenderness. I know you know it. But that's in Ozish. These people speak Kaati. Trust me and follow my lead, or you'll be sorry, my girl. When around the corner, meadow music breaks off for a moment, and a bit of noisy chatter erupts in the interval, Frex nods at her. Ephie does as she is told. Louder, he says. You're summoning people. She flings out an arm at the empty sports meadow before the veranda, daring him to notice nobody there. Louder! Then, as the anthem climbs the bridge to the second chorus, which unfolds on a higher platform of melody, Her voice flutes through it somehow. It has found its altitude. It unspools from her throat more naturally. Her mother's stiff dress holds her in place and stops her from fleeing, even while a few residents of hovels round the corner of the lodge to see what human creature is making this sort of sweet thunder out of her own mouth. When she is finished, Frex delivers an invocation to the deity, failing to mention which specific deity he has in mind. It doesn't matter that the lyric is anything but devotional. The syllables make pleasant nonsense in the air. The melody is jauntily off the beat. More people approach, and then Frex has them where he wants them. He begins to stake a claim in Uvels at last, with Ephie as a spiritual lure of reward.
Oh.